Inai. Innefer haru. Haru innefer haru. A inne kinnecher Kepper Joseph. Khensu Keku. I am mesekim. I am metepu. I am ekau. Ine jor ne chiru raka kema era ya ba jora tayu raka kema era ya ba jora ema yebe raka kema era ya ba aufu SCP Fed. What is good, y'all? Good morning, good morning. For those who do not speak the ancient Egyptian Medu-Neter, ancient Egyptian language, ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, I said greetings, greetings. Good day to you, good day to you. I am the great God who created himself, Khensu Keku. I come in power, I come in peace, and I come in words of power. That's what I said. I come in peace, I come in power, I come in words of power. Then I also said, I am all the gods and goddesses known and unknown that exist within me. I am all the ancestors known and unknown that exist within me. I am all those who came before, known and unknown that exist within me. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking. What up, y'all? What up? What up? What's up, everybody? Good morning. Out in LA. Hello. Another day in LA. Out in LA right now. My second home. I know everybody in Atlanta like, when you coming back? When I fucking come back, nigga. So now I'll be back when I fucking come back, nigga. When I pull up, nigga. Nah, but shout out to everybody that showed up. This is just a nice little early Sunday morning live we on right now. Nice IG live, early Sunday morning. It's about 7 a.m., 7:30ish. Just getting up, do my little sun gaze, get outside, put my feet in the ground, do my meditation, cleanse my aura, shit like that. People always ask me, when it comes to cleansing your aura, and when it comes to like cleansing your energy and, you know, energetically or powering up your energetic body, your ethereal body, things of that nature, how do you do it? Or when should you do it? And I tell people every fucking day. Every fucking day. You should actually be doing some type of chakra work, meditative work, healing work, alchemical process, transformation, anything like that. Anything that promotes spiritual alchemy, spiritual transformation. You should be doing that every fucking day. Every time you wake up, you should already be on that. Smoke break. Had to clear out my bowl so I can put some shit in there. But yeah, you should be doing that every day. Every single day. I wake up every day and I do my aura cleansing. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I get up and I cleanse my aura. One way that I do it is I visualize a bright light. Usually I visualize, me personally, I visualize ultraviolet light. A bright ultraviolet light. The reason why I do ultraviolet is because, for those who don't know, yo black and brown asses, you melanated people, whether you're Native American. A Native American does not mean Native American, like you know, people that are quote unquote Indians. Native American means your ass was born in fucking America, nigga. So that means Hispanic people, black people, we were already here prior to some quote unquote slavery or slave ship and all that. We've been in America for hundreds of millions of years before these niggas existed. So that'd be stupid to actually believe that. We did not come here on a fucking boat. Yeah, if you came here on a boat, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? If you want to say your ancestors came here on a boat, that's fucking fine for me. Just know that mine didn't. I did not come on a fucking boat, nigga. We were already here. But basically, the reason why it's ultraviolet is because your melanin, your dark skin, your black, brown skin, eats ultraviolet and gamma rays. Melanin eats rays of light. Okay? So that's why I do ultraviolet, because that's the highest form of light you could actually get, because you can't even fucking see it. So I visualize my body as being covered by bright ultraviolet light. And then as it moves up, and then what I do is I allow it to move that energy up the chakra system. That energy moves up the chakra system. So when it comes down to it, you know, you got your chakras. People that are familiar with it, you got your chakra system. What you want to do is you want to bring that light into each chakra. You see what I'm saying? You want to figure out a way to bring that light up into each chakra. And then as you do that, visualize the light becoming intense and more intense and more intense, kind of like a sun. So you want to look at that ultraviolet light that's rising up the chakras as a sun, as some type of form of the sun, or a sun. It doesn't need to be our yellow sun. It can be a fucking blue sun in Sirius. It can be a sun in Pleiades, Orion, wherever the fuck you want it to be. Just make sure it's a fucking sun. All right? And then you use that energy to flow up the chakras, and then you go from there. I know you guys can't really see me. It's because I'm packing a bowl. I can't put weed in the pipe and also hold my phone at the same time. But yeah, that's very important to do that. That's one practice that you guys could do every day. And I wanted to kind of have this live be kind of about that. Certain practical manners and tapping into certain aspects of your spirituality. Because I get a lot of people a lot of times, and they ask me, you know, like, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you tap into this? How do you tap into that? Such and such, such and such. Most of the time, tapping into things of that nature can be done through intention. You know what I'm saying? Through intention. Because that's really what it comes down to. Your intention and your attention. You know what I'm saying? Your intention and your attention. What is your intention for doing the work? And then how much attention can you put into that intention? You see? And from there, that's when, you know, the average person, I don't want to say average, but the most people have the ability to tap in is once they start to look at the intention and of their attention. I'm not sure what the return date is yet, Brief. I actually need to call Big today and chop that up with him. You hit up Big and chop it up with him. I actually just kind of really even got back in LA. Like, I was in LA at court on Monday. I got in LA Saturday. So Saturday I was here. Sunday, what's up, Jen? Sunday I chilled, you know what I'm saying? Saturday I was here. Sunday I chilled. Monday I had my court. And then after court, I went to Vegas to see my girl. So I actually just got back from Vegas Friday night. So I don't even feel like I've been in California. You know? Don't even really feel like I've been here. But that's some ways you guys can tap into that type of information. You know what I'm saying? It's through transformation. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what basically the key of this spiritual alchemy is. It's transformation. You know, trying to get into that next step. You know. And oh, brief. Guess what? I ended up finding that DMT too. I found DMT, so I found it when I make my move back that way. Somebody told me, a little birdie told me, it might be coming with me. That's what a little birdie told me. Smoke break. 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 You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ask me why I smoke a lot. What's the key? The key is understanding how prana works. That's the key. Understanding how prana works. Everything, in essence, has a pranic energy blueprint. So, by inhaling the prana, as Ralph Smart say, woo, inhaling that good ass prana, you can actually absorb the ethereal energy or the akashic energy. By doing that, you can absorb that akashic energy. And that can be done through yoga, that can be done through breath work, that can be done through sun gazing, that can be done through a lot of different things, that can be done through through my herb packs. I do provide herb packs. The herb packs, you could smoke them as I'm doing now. This is actually not really like a pack. It's just like a little quick mix I made, which I'm using cannabis. I got some cannabis, as well as peppermint leaves, chamomile, and mullein. So I'm using those and mix that as an herb pack to get my day started. As far as this herb pack itself, this herb pack is good for like clearing the mind and strengthening your pineal, and also strengthening the rest of the body, and things of that nature. And by inhaling it, you see what I'm saying, and knowing what those metaphysical properties that it provides, knowing the healing properties it provides, knowing the magical properties it provides, you actually can use that energy to boost yourself. So it's like, yeah, I'm smoking, but really I'm actually doing magic. Smoke break. Smoke break. Now, we were talking about cleansing your aura. Now, aside from the actual aura, it's aside from, like I was saying, imagining the bright light. Another way to cleanse your aura, especially if you feel like you've been under attack or under any type of spiritual attack, would be taking a baking soda and salt bath. So you get you about a half a cup of sea salt and half a cup of baking soda, and you throw it in the bathtub, and you hop your happy ass in there, and you dip yourself in. You want to immerse yourself as if you're being baptized. And then every time you go into the water, you know what I'm saying, you want to basically look at it as whatever the issues that you have or whatever may be going on. When you dip in, you basically want to imagine that every dip you go, you're cleansing those things that you don't that are no longer of service to you. So you cleanse those, and then when you lift up, every time you come out of the water, after being immersed into that water, you want to look at it as they have already been removed. They've already been washed away. That's how you want to look at that. As far as if you don't use cannabis, you don't have to use cannabis. You don't have to use cannabis at all. That's just what I use personally to help me work with certain entities like Shiva in his form of Nataraja. Esheshet also is a weed plant, and Eshem Meshemet in ancient Egyptian are also weed deities. So I evoke that type of energy when I'm doing it. So that's the one thing that I personally do. But the cannabis isn't needed. I offer several different type of herb packs. So not only can you smoke them, you can bathe in them. Just like I said, as far as the basic one, salt and baking soda, you can do that at home. I do offer several different type of herb packs. Those that protect your aura, deity type of herb pack. So if you want to work with a specific deity, like I've been having a lot of people hit me up for Lakshmi, herb packs. So you can work with that. And also, you can make it into a tea. I have those for your chakras to balance all your chakras, open up the chakras, for fortification, things of that nature, for dreams, for spiritual prosperity, things of that nature. Cannabis is a great gateway when used properly. You know what I mean? I think that's the most important note that I need to say. When used properly, it's not always going to come into favor, because you got to understand everything here is only a reflection of whoever you are specifically. There's nothing outside of you. Well, I mean, you can believe there is, because that's up to you. But for me, there's nothing outside of me or nothing more powerful than me or none of that nonsense. So in actuality, everything here is a tool that is only a reflection of me, that either I don't have the time to use it yet, or it's just not of service at this moment. You know what I'm saying? It's like a wrench. What the fuck am I going to use a wrench for to smoke weed? You know what I mean? Those tools don't work together. But this lighter does. This bowl does. You see what I'm saying? So by understanding the tool, you can understand when to use it. And what we have been removed from is understanding that everything outside of us is a tool. It's a reflection or a tool. Everything inside is the fucking ingenious or the creative motion itself. So what we need to do is, as a collective, and I normally don't say this, is we need to separate. We need to stop following everybody else, because not everybody has the same fucking path. Not everybody has the same intention. Not everybody has the same experience, and not everybody even has the same genes. I'm going to talk about this in my next YouTube video, but I'll give you guys a little information after this smoke break. So, came up with this theory. My theory is supported by fact. So if my theory seems, a little outlandish, just know that it's backed by an outlandish fact. What I have discovered is this whole concept of the law of one, right? So everybody knows I always talk shit about the ones that talk about the law of one and how we're not all one. We don't come from one source, and we're not all connected and all this and all that. And this one thing, one law, one source, one blah, 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 blah. That's not nowhere near true. First and foremost, we do not all come from one. The law of one, the concept of we all coming from one, the concept of we all being one, the concept of the one source comes from, guess who? None other than melanin recessive beings. What? Yes, my folks. White people. Caucasians, white people. They are the ones who have created the concept of the law of one. They are the ones who have created the concept of we all being one. They are the ones who created the concept of us coming from one source. They are the ones who created the concept of us returning to this one source. And they are also the ones who created the concept of, again, us being one. How do I know this? And why would I say this? Well, I've been doing some research. And what I've actually discovered is not only have they only existed about 6,000 to 8,000 years total as a race, and we've been here 600 million years as a race. They've been here 6,000 to 8,000 years as a race. But they all have one ancestor in common. So they're the ones that come from one. Think about that. Think about that. The whole concept of the law of one comes from them because they only come from one ancestor. So that literally means that they are all family. So that whole concept of I am you, you are me, that's because they are the same. They're all a copy of one entity. So in the ancient Egyptian story, they basically explain how they created them through stem cell research and test tubes. In Islam, they speak about Yaqub, how Yaqub created the white man as on a rogue experiment, like he was on a rogue fucking genetic experiment, and created them as his own type of like slave race, and they eventually fucked him up and flipped the switch. That's one concept, but basically, either way, whatever these ancient spiritualities were speaking about, they all spoke about the same concept of that happening. They all spoke about that. And if that's the case, and then we put into to play, and we do the math, and we put this in the works, and really understand that they all have one ancestor and they've only existed for 6,000 to 8,000 years, then basically they're the ones that come from one creation, not us, because they were created in creation. So if we all came from the one source, then what took y'all niggas so long? Where was y'all at? You know what I'm saying? If we're all the same and we're all one, then why is it that you came so fucking late? Why is it that you are actually detrimental to nature? Like, we talk about chemtrails all the time. People are like, oh, the chemtrails, the chemtrails, the chemtrails. But little do you know, the chemtrails is keeping your white ass alive. Because if it were not chemtrails, the UV rays and the gamma rays that our melanin naturally eats would be coming down a lot more, but the chemtrails are blocking them to keep us asleep, but keep y'all alive. Now, I didn't come to preach this morning. You know what I'm saying? That's what the church always says. Now, I didn't come to preach this morning. But I didn't. I just came to drop fact. And that's what it is. This whole law of one and whole source thing, what it is this. Because they were created within creation by us, what it is this. When we leave, when we die, when you transition, when you go back into your cocoon, you go back to where your black and brown ass is from in the galaxy, which more than likely is a blue star. Here's the issue with that. They will not live there because their soul is not made up of all the parts that your soul is made up of. They may not even have a soul. Because soul comes from the original sun that existed before that one. That's what it is. The soul came, all people who have souls, they come from somewhere else before this one, before this star system, right? So if these entities were created under this sun 6,000, 8,000 years ago, then that means that they are spiritually infants. They're spiritually newborns in comparison to where you are as a spiritual being here 600 million years or more. So with that being said, what this is basically saying is this: they can't go to where we go when we die. So by making us believe that we're all one, some of them niggas gonna creep in. Some of them niggas gonna creep in. It's the hope of being able to get where we go, because they cannot. When they leave, they constantly reincarnate, because they were created in this specific universe. So they can't go anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? They were created by the Antares star. So basically the Scorpio zodiac, through its sun Antares, it brought in those entities. Or at least helped create them, one of the two. You know, maybe gave them a habitat or something where they was able to be created. But basically, they were created themselves not too long ago, 6,000, 8,000 years ago. Which basically explains why they always, when it comes to spirituality, all their spirituality is yo shit. When it comes to culture, all their culture is yo shit. When it comes to land, all their land is yo shit. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to anything you do, anything they do, it's just your shit. It is your shit, because they did not exist long enough to even have creativity. Because everything was already done by the time they even got here. You see what I'm saying? It's like if I go to work from 8 a.m. to 5, you know what I'm saying? And you supposed to be there at 8 a.m. to 5 with me. And we do similar jobs. It's just that, okay, I pick up the doo-doo, and you lay the manure. You know what I'm saying? I go pick up the manure, you lay the manure. But you don't come to work today. So now I got all this manure and ain't got nobody to lay it. Guess what? Guess who has to lay it too now? Me. Your happy ass shows up at 3:30 like, yeah, what's going on, player? My bad, man. I had a long night, you know what I'm saying? Shit, where the shit at? Let me go ahead and get my shit laid. I'm already done. I'm already done. That's basically what it is with them. They came so late that everything was already done. So the only thing they could do is pillage. Only thing they could do is pillage you, steal from you, kill you, rape you, because everything was already done. There was nothing for them to do here. There still is nothing to do here. Because besides grow, spiritually transform and grow. That's the only thing that there is to do here for pretty much everybody. You know what I'm saying, at this point. But that's what it is with them. This whole law of one, whole concept of a source, it's just basically talking about them. And if you don't believe me, Google it. Y'all know me. I don't want y'all to believe shit I say. I want you to have the resource, have your own realization. And what I'm going to tell you is, when you Google it, you will find out they all have one common ancestor. They were created within 6,000 to 8,000 years ago. And how they found this out is through the eyes. Because technically, naturally, every single being on the earth is supposed to have brown eyes. Blue eyes and those things of that nature are mutations, because it doesn't allow you to feed on the sun, nor does it allow you to absorb light. Therefore, people with blue eyes literally do not even see in the same frequency as you. So how the fuck are they channeling shit? How the fuck are they seeing angels? How the fuck are they seeing any of these things when their eyes can't even absorb light? How? What are they seeing? Nothing. They seeing your ignorance and they're feeding on it. They're making money off of you. That's what's happening. Like, honestly, no disrespect. There's a high chance, extremely high chance that if you have brown eyes, brown hair, and brown skin of any sort, then you have already been in contact with spirits your entire life. When you thought you had imaginary friends, shit like that, no, those are just spirits, just angels, demons, gods, and goddesses that basically, when you died, they went to sleep in the mind just like you went to sleep in your mind. And they wake up through your mitochondrial DNA just like you wake up through your mitochondrial DNA. And what happened is, that's what you were channeling your whole time. Now, with them, they're naturally calcified. Their pineal gland is naturally calcified. Their eyes being blue, that means they cannot absorb light like you absorb light. Therefore, they do not even see, and nor can they see or hear. Those spirits, because with blonde hair, that means you cannot absorb light, you just reflect it. I'm sorry, you can't absorb sound, you just reflect it. So, what those things are basically saying is, these people who are making the most money off of this spiritual shit basically can't do it. But what it is it's training. It's the training of the Negro, the training of the Negro mind that allows the actual shit to go down. I'm gonna say that again. It's a training of the Negro mind that allows these things to actually go down. And you're probably thinking, well, what am I saying with this? Well, what I'm saying is the training of the Negro mind to look for certification. The training of the Negro mind to look for approval. The training of the Negro mind to look for, to use the ego to be right or wrong. You see what I'm saying? That is what the training I'm talking about, just because that training itself is what got us in trouble, simply because you have to have something outside of yourself to confirm whatever you're trying to do. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is, since we work in these systems, you know what I'm saying, we constantly dealing with them on a day-to-day basis. After the oppression, it left a post-traumatic slave syndrome to actually look for them to say yes to you. Well, you constantly look for their approval. Yes, you need validation from the white man. That is the training you have, because you have a post-traumatic slave syndrome going on that has been carried through program after program after program of your family's oppression. That's what it is. Your family being oppressed and continued along the mindset of a slave. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you even are friends with them niggas shows. That shows itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, people always be like, why is it that you don't like to go do, like, to group meditations or do spiritual work, where there's a lot of Caucasians? It's like, because the energies I work with, the demons, the spirits, the gods, goddesses, angels, and ancestors I work with, them niggas would be killing them niggas. Or fucking them up in the astral plane. And they'd be looking at me like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because what you don't understand is this. Your ancestors, when they die, they go nowhere but to live in your ass. Here's the issue with that. When they die, they only know what they knew when they left. So if I died and I never saw Obama president, I didn't know that black people were freed, I thought we were still segregated, I actually got hung from a fucking tree. When I wake up as the ancestor and I see you kissing this pretty little white girl, I'm like, hell no, nigga, you about to get us killed. And then naturally, your body goes into a state of fear, and you start to get anxiety, and you don't even know what the fuck it came from. You're like, damn, I was just kissing my girlfriend. All of a sudden, I just got like anxious, real. I almost had a panic attack. I felt like somebody was about to choke me or some shit. Like I was about to be hung for a tree. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. Because they looking at it like, oh shit, no, you putting us in danger. You know what I'm saying? You put us in fucking danger. They don't understand that shit changed. So because they don't understand it, that means that their ancestors don't understand it either. Smoke break on that one. Straight up smoke break on that shit. Shit. Like, I noticed it when I do DMT, or really any type of Akashic state. When I go into the astrals, they're not there. You know what I'm saying? When I have dreams, now because I'm always like somewhere in my dream, I'm always in a different realm. Like my girl will confirm this. My girl will be like, yeah, that nigga be commanding demons and all types of shit. Like she was telling me I was asleep. I told them they was doing something, and I was like, nah. This what y'all niggas about to do. Y'all not doing that mode. This what you niggas about to do. And then she was like, whoever I was talking to, whichever demon it was, them niggas got straight real quick. But what it is when I go into these dream states, I notice they not there. And like the only ones that are there are like ones that really have soul. Like my great aunt. Not great aunt, actually, not great aunt. Or actually it's just my great aunt. Yeah, she's my great aunt. She had soul. She was white. But she was like one of the youngest of like a whole bunch of kids. Or maybe one of the oldest, I forgot. And then they grew up poor, grew up in an orphanage. Like they were split up. They grew up in the fucking system. She grew up around, pretty much around black people all her life. Then she moved from New York to Flint, Michigan, and met my granddad, my great uncle technically, but he's like a granddad to me. They got married, and her whole even before the marriage and after the marriage, she told me that like my family, which are black, used to call her a nigger lover. You see what I'm saying? And so that's how you can tell when a person has the soul, because the soul resides in the heart chakra. Well, that's like the main gateway to the soul. And the fact that she would be willing to endure that type of shit, you know what I'm saying, being called a nigger lover, you know what I'm saying, like, not only are you getting it from white people for actually being a nigger lover, but you get it from niggas too, you know what I'm saying, so it's almost like, well, shit, how do I win? You feel me? So just to even go through that type of fucking torture to know that this is the person I'm gonna marry and be with regardless, that means that was real. You see what I'm saying? And over time, all that shit folded away. Nobody called her that. Nobody looked at her like that or anything. They looked at her as black as we was. You see what I'm saying? So that's the case. And now that I know where I'm at spiritually, and know what I know now, she definitely was my actual mother. She was my actual mother, and my great uncle, they were my actual parents. You see what I'm saying? My parents are like my children or something. Or like my siblings. Because you can tell these things by if you are the one that's conscious in your family. So the conscious people in the family are the ones who actually have been here and have done work in the past. The ones that haven't are either the ones that need to be woken up through your example, or they literally don't exist. Or they literally don't exist. And the reason I'm saying that is because the conscious ones, their souls are if you have regenerated, that means you are a black hole and you know how to regenerate. So therefore, you would have the ability to bring in other beings. And what I mean by that is, let's say my great uncle needed to be conscious, but he didn't have the chance to be conscious because there was slavery and all this shit like that. Then my grandmother, and then all these different people down the line. Basically, they're all incarnations of you, but you just chose not to incarnate because you didn't have time to deal with that bullshit because you probably already did in another aspect of things. So in another incarnation, you, instead of being a slave, you probably was a king, and that was caught and been a prisoner of war. You see what I'm saying? And when you came back, you said, nah, fuck all that slave shit. I'm going to let them do that, and I'll just come in when it's free time. You know what I'm saying? I'll come in when Obama's president. I'll let y'all go ahead and get that Martin Luther King joint. Y'all can have King. I'm going to have Obama. You know what I'm saying? That's basically how it works from a conscious standpoint when you regenerate your incarnations. You know what I'm saying? Because you need to be able to pick up from where you left off. Therefore, a person would not incarnate black and then go incarnate white because you couldn't pick up from where you left off. That would just be fucking retarded. That would be like having a full, like playing Final Fantasy 8. If anybody ever played a Final Fantasy game, then you know how long those fucking games are. That's like playing Final Fantasy, getting to like the third disc or like the very, very end. You know what I'm saying? You have the third disc at the very, very end. And then all of a sudden, you just like, you know what? I'm going to just start over. I'm going to just start over. I'm not even going to play this game anymore. I'm going to delete that file and start fresh. That would be fucking retarded. That'd be fucking retarded. And as much as people may hate that word, retarded, I'm using that in the proper context because retarded means to slow down your own process. To slow down or to move backwards your own process. And that's what you're doing in that state. You are slowing down your own process. You are slowing down the progress of your spirit and your soul by trying to incarnate into something that does not have a soul. That would be fucking retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should be something that people understand if you so-called are trying to raise your vibration. Then you should probably know how the laws of vibration work. Being that everything is only a vibration until it is observed, therefore making it a particle at that point, that means that your black skin is literally just a black hole or carbon that has been observed, and through its observation, it transformed itself into what's known as melanin, melanin to be exact. That's what that is. The original people here have U negative blood. Shout out to Dr. Asaru Alim El Bey on that information. Y'all follow him, Dr. Asaru Alim El Bey, or you may, I think on Instagram, I think it's just Dr. Alim El Bey, ALIMELBEY. But the original people have U negative blood. You see what I'm saying? Which is your black and brown asses. Like, you have to, I just stress this because you have to think about how long 8,000 years ago is. Then you have to think about all the things that transpired within the last 8,000 years. Then you got to go back and look at all the shit that was going on prior to then. And what you'll find out is war, colonization, strife, diseases, struggles, oppression, poverty, all that shit didn't actually come forward to like the main surface until they existed. It was kind of like after they were created, shit went downhill. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it really comes down to. Because, like, after they were created, shit went downhill. It's like, you have to understand something. You have a man in office trying to build a wall to separate people in a different country from this country. But before this country was named this country, that land was already here, and those people were too. So basically, you came somewhere that you didn't belong. You see what I'm saying? And then want to make rules about the shit you don't belong. And that's what I have an issue with, because they have a victim mentality, but they have a victor's strategy. You know what I'm saying? A victim mentality, but a victor strategy. And what I mean by that is this. Have you ever noticed that, like, when you watch those World Star videos, like, shit'll be going down, and you be seeing, like, and the white boy, they be talking so much shit, like, yeah, such and such, nigger, and then they get punched on camera. They get punched on camera, and I'm calling the cops. It's like, wait, you just sat here and called this dude a nigger 5 times in his face, and asked him what he gonna do about it. You didn't get punched in the face, and you calling the cops? He assaulted me. And guess what? By law, you did. Because technically, he didn't hit your ass. So it's not self-defense. You just fucking assaulted this nigga. You know what I'm saying? And he insulted you. You assaulted him. You see what I'm saying? Like, he insulted you, but you assaulted him. You see? And your ass going to jail for that. Not him. Not him. You. And what that is, how that works, is that's the way the system is. They basically, what they do is they'll do something legally, or they'll find a way to make something a rule, or like forced from an authoritative state after they're done doing it. You see what I'm saying? It's like that's like me going teaching my kids, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever smoke weed. But I do it after I finish smoking weed. Like, son, don't do that. Nope. Don't do that. Smoking weed is bad. Smoking weed is bad, son. Smoking weed is very bad. And then I go and do it. You know what I'm saying? But then after I'm done, I'm like, okay, I'm finally finished smoking weed for the rest of my life. Then it's like, if you ever catch you smoking weed, son, I'm gonna whoop your ass. It's like, but you just did it for the past fucking 30 years. And now it's bad after you finish? That's how they do it. They put a law in place after they've already got their shit set up. You know what I'm saying? It's like they are, oh, well, you can't have silencers and silencers on your gun, and you have to have this many bullets in your gun, and you can't have this type of gun or that type of gun and this type of gun. After they got all their guns, they done bought them all up. Yeah. They done got the whole supply. They stocked. They're ready to go. They're like, yeah, you can't do that now. Nope. It's like, not saying that rape should be good, but I'm saying, isn't it kind of peculiar that rape became a law after they finished raping everybody that they came in contact with? Or, stealing, or after they finished stealing everybody's land and property? Like, how the fuck is archaeology not stealing? Like, somebody explain that to me. How is an archaeologist just going to go into another person's land, take a piece of their art, a piece of their culture, a statue, anything, put that shit in the museum, and you ain't say you stole it, and then got paid for it? That's straight up for that's what they call that. That's hot product, baby. That's hot product. That's equivalent to a crackhead breaking in your house, stealing your TV, and taking it to the pawn shop for crack. You know what I'm saying? That's what your archaeologist is doing. They're breaking into somebody else's country, stealing their art, and then fucking getting paid for it. And then calling it a discovery. Okay. Like, and what I'm saying that is how I know this is a fact. Think about this. What country is going to allow a stranger to come into their country and then take a very important piece of their art that means a lot to the culture and then allow that person to leave just knowing that they're going to sell it? You know what I'm saying? And have it on display somewhere where people of a different culture will be able to observe it, and then your culture doesn't even have the ability to explain what it means. So it's just left up for interpretation of a person who has no connection to it. Okay. So yeah, they went into Egypt, and Ramses' family was like, yeah, come take his tomb. Come on, man. Let me show you where it's at. Yep, so we buried him over here. And then King Tut, we buried him over here. And then Nefertiti, she's over. Come on, man. Come on. She's over here. And then this is her favorite dress. This is her favorite food. And then, okay. Okay. Nigga, they won't even show you Princess Diana where she died at. You know what I'm saying? Like you just, let me go ahead and get, I'm trying to go and get Princess Diana's sock, my nigga. Let me go ahead and get Princess Diana's sock. You be shot for some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to go and get Ronald Reagan's fucking heart, his heart transplant. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get shot for some shit like that. I want to go and get Elvis's blue suede shoes. You get shot for some shit like that. But yet they can go to your country and go take your shit out of goddamn Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Take the shit out of Mexico. Take these out of the same places they're trying to border up. Interesting. Think about that. They go to all these different lands, Japan, Australia, all these different places, put it in the British Museum. But they ain't got nothing British there. They don't have anything that originated from them there. And you can't say the Greeks or the Romans because they got all their stuff from Egypt. So they literally just copied everything from Egypt and they just named it something different. and the Greeks did the same. I think it was either the Romans did it first or the Greeks did it first. But one of them, it was the Greeks that did it first. And the Romans just copied them. Like, they literally just took every deity that the Greeks had and they just switched the name up. So instead of it being Zeus, it was Jupiter. It was actually Jupiter Amen because it was a form of Amen Ra. Which is why if you look up the Amen's horn, it's spelt that way, Ammon, because they give it to Jupiter, Amen, instead of it actually being Amen Ra, because they didn't want you to know that it was your black ass that we was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Instead of Kronos, they got Saturn. Instead of Hermes, they got Mercury. So they just basically switched. Instead of Aphrodite, they had like Venus. They just switched all the names up. But it's the same Isis, the same Horus, the same Jehudi, all these things, same set. It's the same energy. It's just that they switched the name up so that they seem like they had an origin. But it's like, again, when they've only existed for 6,000 to 8,000 years, and we of colored people have been here for 600 million years, and in America, then how did you come on a slave boat? That's a belief system. If I have you believe that shit, then you always in servitude to me. Thanks for bringing me here, massa. You see what I'm saying? You always going to be in a state of fear or servitude because you basically had this belief that out of fear and servitude, you even got here. Shit, if you just and the reason why they do that is because it's very simple. If they had you believe that and then put in a God in place that also keeps you in fear and servitude, then guess who your God becomes? The white man. The white man. Subconsciously, it will be because your job will then become the God. That's why it's called a landlord. Because he is the God of that land. If you want to kick your ass out, guess what? Go home, nigga. Bye-bye. I'm selling this property now. Landlord. That's where that word comes from. To lord means to be the master of something. And that's what the word God literally means. El is where the word God was translated from. But El in the Canaanite language meant Lord. It actually meant sir or mister. So like how you see a person that you don't know, like, hey, mister, can I help you? That's basically what you'd be saying. Hey, God, can you help me over here? You see what I'm saying? That's what you're saying when you say it. It's just that you're so taught, you've been programmed to believe something because of the book itself don't allow you to read other books. That is the mind of a slave. That is the mind of a slave. I mean, if you really want to know, in my mind, it's the mind of a bitch. They basically made you into a spiritual bitch because you're too scared to actually do anything to find out for yourself. So you're going to believe something that somebody else told you that they making up to use against your ass. You know what I'm saying? Against your ass. Like, you know how many times I talk to people and they say, oh, I don't want to do black magic. First of all, you don't even know what the fuck black magic is. You're a spiritual bitch. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't want to talk to demons. First of all, you don't even know what a demon is. You're a spiritual bitch. Oh, it's love and light. Oh, I don't want to be on the dark side. You're a spiritual bitch. Oh, I love God. Fuck the devil. You're a spiritual bitch. That's what you are. You are a spiritual bitch. Like, in the spirit realm, nobody has respect for you. Trust me on this one. You don't gain respect in the spirit realm being one-sided. Trust me on this one. They will look at you and spit in your astral face. That's what they will do. Like, get your bitch ass out of here. Go to the sand lot, nigga. Go play in the sand. You don't belong up here with thugs. Go play in the sandbox over there. Go. Move, fly. Toodaloo. Like, that's how they look at y'all. Y'all, them loving light cats, they look at y'all as the most pussiest motherfuckers in the world. So I don't know who y'all be talking to with that what they call it, the Federation of Light. I don't know who y'all be talking to. But dumb niggas is pussy too. They pussy too. Because here's the key. In the spiritual realm, if I know you're one-sided, what happens if the other side gets the advantage? Who am I going to call? I'm not going to call you for spiritual warfare. You know what I'm saying? If I know you the most non-violent, I don't believe in violence at all. I've never fought in my life. I've never had one fight at all. And then a nigga pull up on me, I'm not even expecting you to get up. You see what I'm saying? Like, if people come to jump me and I know you can't fight and you ain't never had a fight in your life and you're actually a very non-violent type person, if somebody pulls up and they come to jump me, I am not mad if you don't get up because I don't expect you to. You see what I'm saying? Because I know you're too scared to do anything anyway. So that's how they look at them. They're not going to help you ascend. They're not going to help you get your job. They're not going to help you get a girl. They're not going to help you get $1 million because you can't even help yourself know yourself. Because you're too scared following somebody else. So with that being said, I got 30 seconds left. It's going to end soon. Look out for my interview that I did with Quantum Kitty. That shit is going to be lit. We went on for like 3 hours, I think, talking about DMT and all types of shit. So look out for that interview. New music on the way. Book and all that stuff. One Block Music, you know what it is. Khensu Keku, 636 Gods. Stay wavy, starseeds. And I'm out. Yeah.